Welcome back. I have some big news to share because the US Census Bureau just announced brand new home sales and inventory levels across the US. They reported that there's about a 16 and a half year high regarding the number of new houses for sale nationwide. And on top of that, sales decreased by double digits compared to the previous month and compared to 1 year ago. I have a lot to share in today's video. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So here's that report from the US Census Bureau just announced today, which is Wednesday, June 26. This covers the month of May. They look at sales and also inventory levels and home prices of brand new houses. This video, by the way, and of course this report, is only looking at new single family houses, so excluding multifamily properties. And by the way, just like my previous videos, they define a sale as a deposit taken or a sales agreement signed. So this is very much a forward-looking indicator of closed home sales of brand new home construction. And these sales, again, could be a dirt lot in which you visit a home builder, you place a deposit down on that dirt lot, and the home builder builds a house, and the house is constructed in approximately 6 to 12 months. That is a sale. Also, a sale could be a house under construction or a completed house as well. So again, this is really about contracts being signed, not closed home sales. Okay, let's first talk about sales on a national level, which is this column right here. These figures are in thousands of units, and also they are seasonally adjusted as well, making it easy to compare month-to-month changes. So for May, which is right here, there was 619,000 brand new home sales. Again, this could be a dirt lot, house under construction, or a completed house. But at 619,000, the seasonally adjusted and also annualized rate, that's the lowest rate we've had going back to November last year. Also looking at the sales compared to April, down 11.3%, and a giant decrease down by 16.5% year over year. Now, every housing market's different, right? Look at these four major regions. This is the Northeast, the Midwest, the South, and also the West. The Northeast, what's going on there? I mean, look at that, down 44% in one single month, also down by the same amount compared to 1 year ago as well. In contrast, in the Midwest, sales increased by 13.3% year over year. That actually was the only region that reported gain on a year-over-year basis. Because in the South, sales decreased by 18% and were down by 21% in the West. On a month-to-month basis, all regions reported decreases, but the smallest decline was actually in the West, only down by 4.5% compared to 44% in the Northeast. Now, something I found to be really interesting as well is that 619,000, again, this is down by double digits compared to April, but also down by double digits compared to 1 year ago. But also it's lower than the forecast, which was calling for 636,000. Now we're only at 619,000. This is also way below the previous reading, which is back in April at nearly 700,000 units sold. So part of the reason, in my opinion, due to this decline in sales in May is due to this right here. In May, the average 30-year fixed rate, according to Freddie Mac, the average for entire month of May, again, these are contracts being signed, right? So the average rate was at 7.06%. That's actually the highest rates we've had going back to November last year, when at that time, the rate was at 7.44%. Now, again, I've been talking about this for quite some time, right? A lot of home builders right now are offering all these incentives to home buyers, but despite that, we saw a decrease in sales last month and also compared to 1 year ago. So despite the fact that home builders are offering, a well below market rate for a 30-year fix, let's just say, for example, the average 30-year fix is at 7%. I know a lot of home builders are still offering rates at 5.5 to 6%. On top of that, a lot of builders in my area, which again is a greater Sacramento area, they're offering a free closing cost credit in the range of $5,000 to $15,000, which basically means for you as a home buyer, there's a lot of incentives and benefits of buying a brand new house. But despite that, sales decreased this May. Here's also a chart looking at sales this May compared to the past 10 years. So right now we're at 619,000. Like I mentioned, the lowest rates or lowest sales pace we've had since November last year. but also at 619,000. This is way below pre-COVID levels. So for example, let's just look at January. January was actually a little bit lower, but ever since February 2019 through much of the year, sales were actually much higher compared to the 619,000 we're seeing right now. In addition, it's nearly half the pace we had going back to October 2020. Back then, of course, the average 30-year fix was around 3%. Now it's at 7%. But so it makes sense that sales are much less then, but it just mind-boggling to see that the sales were over 1 million in October of 2020. Now we're less than 700,000. All right, going back to the U.S. Census Bureau's report here, let's look at houses for sale. This is inventory levels. In the United States, that increased by 1.5% month to month compared to April, but increased by 13% compared to 1 year ago. So right now there's 481,000 brand new single family houses for sale. Again, a dirt lot, a house under construction, or a completed unit as well. So 481,000, this is the highest levels going back to January of 2008. Look at this right there, 481,000, higher than the previous peak, which was back in October of 2022. 481,000, we haven't seen that high of the number of houses for sale going back to January 2008, when at that time there was 487,000 brand new single family houses for sale. What's also very interesting as well is that the month supply is actually exploding right now. We have a 9.3 month supply. A normal range is in the range of 4 to 6 months of supply. Now we're at 9.3 months. This implies that home buyers have an advantage over home builders right now. This is a giant increase of 15% in one single month, and we're up by nearly 35% compared to May of 2023. 1 year ago, we're at 6.9 months. Now again, we're at 9.3 months. Also looking at our good Uncle Fred at 9.3 months, this is actually the highest levels we've had going back to October of 2022, when at that time we had a 9.7 month supply. Also looking at pre-pandemic levels, it was more normal. Let me just kind of zoom out a little bit more than this. It was more normal to see the month supply in the range of 5 to 7.6 months, but more likely in the range of 4.8 to approximately 6 months from June of 2017 through the end of 2019. So to say we have an elevated number of new houses for sale is quite the understatement. A 9.3 month supply, and also at 481,000, basically a 16.5 year high right now. Something I've been talking about on the channel for quite some time as well is that one metric that I follow very, very closely that also you guys should be aware of as well is a number of single family houses that are completed, but they are still for sale. This is a great indicator about the healthiness of the new home construction industry. So for May, there's 99,000 brand new single family houses completed that are still for sale. This is way above pre-COVID levels, when it was more normal to have around 75,000 to about 80,000 houses for sale. This is also approximately 3 times higher as well compared to the levels we had back in February of 2022 at 31,000. Now it's at 99,000. Zooming out, going back to the early 1999s, we're at 99,000. This is the highest number of houses for sale that are completed going back to November of 2009. Now, the reason why I follow this very, very closely is that if builders are building houses, they have them for sale, but they can't sell them, that's a recipe for disaster because all the sunk costs in building a house. You think of the roof, all the materials inside the house, all the labor involved in that. There's a lot of costs of building a house. And if builders build their houses, but they're not able to sell them, that is a red flag to say the least. Okay, let's change gears slightly here and talk about home prices. This is the median sold price based on contracts being signed for brand new houses. That is flat compared to the previous month. Right now, we're at $417,400. 1 year ago, we're at $421,200. So home prices, or I should say the median sold price, has decreased by about 1% year over year. Also, looking over the past 5 years, home prices have been relatively flat ever since really April of 2023. And again, keep in mind, this is a time when home builders are offering all these incentives. So it's pretty telling to see that sales have been relatively flat for about a year now. And with that said, please comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. My biggest takeaway, honestly, is the fact that sales tanked in May, down by double digits compared to April, but also we're down greatly compared to 1 year ago as well. And we're seeing inventory absolutely exploding right now. 481,000 houses for sale. I mean, basically we haven't seen this level since 2008. And on top of that, sales are also, or I should say, home prices are relatively flat as well. So some big changes happening right now regarding the new home construction industry here. So with that said, please comment below your biggest takeaways though. Also, if you guys want a real estate agent referral, whether you want to buy a brand new house, there's probably some deals out there, or an existing house, please email me at jason@meetjasonwalter.com or check out my website, which is realestateteamfinder.com. With that said, thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next video.